Okay, front triangle position part 2 from the top, okay? Front triangle from the top part 2. Last time we were going under the assumption that you were in the closed guard and your opponent hadn't broken your posture yet. Now we're assuming the opponent's a little bit better and was able to break your position, okay? First thing, this is what happens to me all the time. Anytime I'm in the closed guard, someone immediately goes for my head and just starts pulling me down. And I'm a small guy, so I have problems getting back up when this happens to me. So I always like to have an escape from this position as well. So when he does that, okay, I take my hands and I do like a mini push-up. I'm not trying to go completely in good posture from here. I just straighten my spine, lift myself up a bit, and with this hand I just do a couple of short hops. Okay? And then I bring my elbows in and I look for a knee, because right now his closed guard is supporting his own weight. I just push his knee off, and then I can go directly into my double under, and then we go from there, okay? So let me just check if we're recording good. I didn't want to repeat going through something and then realizing, oh shit, I wasn't recording. Okay, so same thing from this position. He breaks my posture. I need to get back straight. I want him to need to use his closed guard to keep himself in position rather than holding me up. So, I go up, scoot, 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 and just I look for a knee and push. From here, we go into the double under, and then we do the progression as we've been doing it the entire time in the video series. Okay, so, and that's essentially the progression, all of the actual techniques for the top position. Just like with the bottom position and with the triangle mechanics, technique's not enough, and going straight to free sparring always has the problem that you never had the chance to actually practice the things you did in class. So I always start things off with very focused sparring, where you have to work on the subject matter of the class. So the next part of this video is going to be a few examples of the specific sparring sessions that I like to make sure people do in order to be able to go through these techniques in live sparring. So that's the next section. Okay, we've done triangle escapes in the normal triangle mechanics video. The only thing is we did everything from the bottom position. So if your opponent is taking the triangle from his back. When your opponent has the triangle in the top position, you can still escape, but there are 2 or 3 little fine points you need to keep in mind so that you can actually do the escapes you know. So I'm going to let Jan, so the first thing is that the easiest way to get out of a triangle is to try and flip the position. So I'm going to let Jan get the triangle and show you what I mean. Okay, Jan has the triangle now. Okay, so the first reaction I always have when I want to escape the triangle from this position is I take my feet on the mat and make a nice ball and socket grip with my arm so that I can keep him from pushing my arm over. If he tries to push my arm over, it's not as easy for him. And I bridge and roll. And I bring him to the bottom position. From here, I can do all my standard triangle escapes. Just posture out, going to the side, all the stuff we did in the first video in the series. But the first thing is you want to bridge and roll to get him in that position. I know for a lot of you it probably sounds obvious, but I've had plenty of people who didn't realize they needed the bridge and roll. They get the triangle from the top position and think, oh God, what do I do now? Bridge and roll and do what you already know. However, If you have an opponent who's really good at keeping top position, he's able to actually keep you from rolling him over. In which case, he's normally going to be more upright with his body, and that's going to make your rolling harder. But that's when this little escape tends to work very well. So again, I let Young get the triangle. Yeah.
Okay. So when he's, and now when he's like this, it's actually really hard to roll him. But the good thing is his body is pretty high up, and I can push him a bit further back with my arms and bring my legs into play.
And I can peel him off me like this. It's not something I need to use a lot, but if I have someone who has really good top control and knows I want to roll him over, that one normally comes into play. So just 2 little additional points for your triangle escape from the top position. Other than that, everything stays the same. So just like what we did in the first video. And yeah, that's everything. So moving on to the next section. Okay, sparring exercises. So I always start the sparring with a simple submission escape. I've already shown that in the first video of this series, so I'm not going to show that here again. I will link that video in the description below so you can have a look at that. But essentially, all sparring sessions always start with one side tries to finish the submission, one tries to escape the submission, and we'll do that for a couple of rounds. Then we go to a positional escape sparring session. In this case, from the top position, we're going to be escaping closed guard. It's something a lot of people actually don't focus on. Everyone has seen closed guard escapes, but I don't know many people who actually sit there and say, okay, your opponent gets the closed guard and you fight your way out. So that's what we're going to do. So our starting position, my opponent gets the closed guard, okay? We both start hands on our chest, okay? I don't get to start already doing this, and he doesn't get to start with like breaking my posture or anything. We start in a fairly neutral position. It goes for a minute, and then we switch sides. But even after the timer rings, he's the one who says go, okay? I don't get to just start, okay? I have to wait for my opponent to be ready, because the idea is I need to be in a pretty bad situation. This is all about getting out of bad situations, and I don't get to give myself an unfair advantage. He's the one who gets the unfair advantage in this. Okay, so just to demo it, let's actually move a bit back so we can make sure we stay in camera. Yeah, okay, yeah, we should stay in camera now. I don't want us to go out of shot. Okay, so when he says go, we start. And go. Then we'll do that for a whole minute, and then when the minute is over, we switch, and it's his turn. Now he has to escape my close guard. Go. Yeah. Good. Okay? And I normally make everyone do that for about 4 rounds. Okay? 4 rounds, close guard, escape, close guard, escape, close guard, escape. Okay? That's the first sparring practice. Okay? After the positional work, we go to a bit more flexible but still restricted form of sparring I call handicap sparring. A very creative name, I know. So that's going to be the next section. Okay, so now handicap sparring. This is a section where I have more freedom. We start basically in a more or less whatever position we want to start in. In this case, we're going to start on the ground. You can start in the stand-up if you want. The only thing is his job is only to defend, okay? He does not get to do any passes. He does not get to sweep. He does not get to submit. He has to just defend all of my attempts to do what I want to do. I only get to do the triangle from the top position. I do not get to do crazy variations, no heel hooks, no nothing. I am only allowed to do the triangle from the top position, side control, like we were doing in the techniques up until now. The name I give this specific drill is the danger zone sparring, because he has to stay in the danger zone. He doesn't get to run away. He doesn't get to give himself a better position so that he gets a breather. He has to defend nonstop the entire time. This is something I give people a little more time with, about 2 minutes. It's harder than it sounds. It's actually harder than free sparring. So we'll demo that now so that everyone can see what that's like. We'll move back a bit. So we're also obviously not going full speed and not going for full time, just because I don't want to do a half-hour video of us sparring, but this is just to give you an idea what this looks like, okay? So he has to defend, I have to pass and do the triangle from the top position. So, and we go.
Ja, non, donc, ja, daar is de studie, ja.
Okay.
Ja.
And then, again, 2 minutes of that, and then we sweep. Sorry for getting out of shot there, and it took longer. I'll probably speed this up just so that it doesn't look as long, because again, it's just a demo. So, that's the danger zone handicap sparring. Next, we go to even more handicapped than that. He gets more advantages, I have the same problems. That's the next sparring exercise. Okay, next exercise. This is the traditional handicap sparring now. I have the same restrictions. I'm only allowed to do the triangle from the top position. He now gets to do anything he wants. He has complete freedom. I am only allowed to do the triangle from the top position. This is hard. This one, I normally give people about 3 minutes, 3-4 minutes. And again, 3 minutes, then we switch, okay? We'll demo that, again, lower intensity just to give you an idea of what we're doing, and we'll back up a bit so that we hopefully stay in camera. And then we'll go on, okay? No, so free. You get to do anything you want, I get to do the top triangle, okay? So, yeah. Okay. And that's handicap sparring. So, and after that, I normally let people go to just normal sparring. They've done enough focus work. Normally, they're pretty tired after that too. So, and that's the complete series for triangle from the top position. Next video is going to be triangle from the standing position. I personally think that's actually kind of cool. So hopefully you guys get a kick out of it. So, see you next week.